Sending out the link. All right. It's a beautiful Friday afternoon. Gonna continue drawing. All right. I wonder if I should grab some charcoal. It can help with some of the darker shading. But it can also be a little bit messy. But it could be worth it. Yeah, I think it's been a long time since I used charcoal. But the dark see here. Or Prismacolor Ebony Jet Black Extra Smooth. I think this was one of my favorites back in the day. Looks like a grayish silver in person. But when it touches paper, it's dark. That should make this picture really good for the shading. Let me try to flip this mount around. There we go. It's less intrusive. Then I can get closer. Alright, that's pretty good. I think I don't have to jump into shading immediately, but I also think I could jump into shading immediately. Might not be bad to fix this antler first thing. If you're watching, then chime in on the chat. So typically deer skulls have a horn that curves around. This is supposed to be an elk. I'm afraid to say I need to glance at what an elk horn looks like. You know, I never really looked that closely at elk antlers before, but it's actually extremely interesting. They have two pairs of horns that go out this way and this way before the big ones go out. It's not like the typical white-tailed deer. Am I going to be able to get that angle without interfering too much? Yeah, what I gather from this is that elks are very spiky boys. It's not intrusive yet. Is that too extreme? It depends. I don't really want to cut off her gorgeous little shoulder there. I'll just make it cracked. And if anyone thinks it's suspicious, then, well, congratulations, Sherlock Holmes. Yes, I did it just so I could show her shoulder. These are not nearly big enough compared to real elk, but this is a drawing. And it's a monster, so it's whatever. I could make this bigger since that one's cracked. There we go, that's a solution. She's backwards, actually. Oh, that's cool. Alright, I don't think we'll have to waste as much time on the elk stuff today, which is good. It's good enough. Well, at least the skull. I still have to do other parts of him. Hey buddy, if you're watching, you need to comment. I told you I'm only gonna draw these characters if you babysit me through it, because it takes so much time. I guess I could do it for Farah, but still. That's a nice hat. I like that hat. Hmm. There's a lot of missing detail here that I'm gonna have to figure out before I'll be done, truly done shading. You're watching, lol. Okay, good. Good, I'm happy to hear it. I'm so pleased that you're here. I wouldn't have it any other way. Where was I with this folklore, forest spirit, cosmic core? So, ooh, ooh, yes. I'm getting an idea. Pardon me a minute. Okay. I said earlier that I didn't want to go full-blown alien aberration, but now that we've got the elk skull in there, it doesn't mean we can't throw in a tentacle or two, right? How the fuck do you draw a vertebra at this particular angle? You know what? Does anyone even really know how to draw a vertebra? For like, if you named an animal, I went to the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History recently. And they got the dinosaur displays. And yeah, you can't you know a vertebra when you see one, but it doesn't mean that you could tell someone what it should look like if you weren't given an example. So I'll just whip something up. It'll probably be good enough. That's decent, right? That looks like it could totally be a vertebra. I'll just repeat it a few times. You know, I guess that's the beauty of being human and drawing things human way instead of letting an AI infer what the end of your drawing should be or infer it from scratch, is that you can discover it as you go and pivot and make things weird and never before seen. And I'm sure someone out there is an expert on how to mask different parts of an image. And have AI fill it in to do something like what I'm doing here, but you get the point anyway. Since I don't know how to do that, there's a certain freedom in getting to steer the direction of the drawing anyway, despite not knowing how to do that. I'm getting kind of lazy with these. That last one's hideous. Ugh. The dreaded cleaning my eraser accidentally wrinkles page when 80% through the drawing. I hate it when that happens. I think I'm gonna have these fade out now. And there's gonna be like a blob. A blobby blob. Like substance. Sort of dissolves into, there won't be a lot of structure here. Drawing D&D character spends 50% of the time drawing additional complex monster lol, but it looks nice. What do you expect? What do you take me for? Where's that other drawing I had yesterday? This. Alright, so this is a pretty clear character drawing, like just a character, but then it's kind of boring, you know, just a little bit. I like a little set piece, a little interaction to it, but then I don't always finish it, so it's a trade-off. I have 15-year-old drawings that still aren't done, but I hang them up on my wall anyway because I just like the line work. I don't throw them away. But I think we'll finish this one. Because I know that this shading is going to be a really good payoff. And I don't have to, as much effort as I put into this little skeleton bit, it's not going to take as much effort to do what comes next, which is the tentacles. It's a tentacle monster. It's a tentacle monster. It's a tentacle blob monster with a skeleton embedded in it. And it's hugging her like a little pet. Isn't that cute? Isn't that adorable? This is her summoned greater demon with very low charisma. And it's got its head in her lap. Oh, it's so sweet. It's so sweet. Very cute. I'm about to be intoxicated by the adorableness. I like them because it lets you see all the character for design purposes, even if it gets a bit boring. I mean, I'm not gonna tell someone else how to draw. Even if I can say maybe that's right about my enjoyment of drawings. A frontal profile, like it's better than nothing, I guess. But I'd rather capture a memory, you know? A scene. I can't wait to use this. It's gonna be really good. I don't think I'll even need to use it in that many places. So it just add a little bit of extra pop where it counts. Isn't that cute? Look, we got so much texture. Like, you might think this is a smooth tentacle, but we got little blobby tendrils coming out that jive well with the protrusions on the vertebra that also jive with the tattered edge of the hat and the dress and the teeth and the prongs. I should add some of these to these big tentacles. Once you have your front profile design set in stone, then I just draw things as they happen. That way I can focus on the event and not be stuck on deciding parts of character design and taking 10 years to finish it. That's valid. Do you ever have the most random interaction, like reading a chat message on YouTube, and it suddenly flings you into a memory of a distant place, which is a fictional place that you explored or lived in inside of a dream, but then that suddenly warps your memory to 1,000 different adjacent dream places that you would never be able to pull up in your memory just randomly, you know? Someone had to spark that connection, and then bam, it's all there, buried in your skull, waiting to be rediscovered. But it's inaccessible unless someone gives you a little hint about how to find it. Ooh, Another freaky thing we can do is give it like a gill-like structure. Blobby gills. It's too much. Okay, a little drippiness too. That's nice and gross. I have no idea how I'm gonna shade the tentacles and blobby bits because I don't even know what color it is. You know what this reminds me of? Rosaria from Dark Souls 3. What a woman. Exquisite taste in how to wear a neckline. Horrible taste in job. Bad companion. Offspring question mark. We need to play Dark Souls 3 one of these days because it's not like Elden Ring. It'll take a while, but it won't take 50 hours. In co-op, it would be pretty easy if we're just, doing a co-op run and not trying to find everything in the game, hardcore optimize a build, then it wouldn't take overly long. It's a lot more linear, less horseback riding than Elden Ring. Okay, here we are. Getting ever closer, ever closer. All right. If this was a digital artwork, this is where I would take a save backup. Don't know what any of this is gonna look like by the end of it, but I guess the next step is to decide where the darkest parts of the image are. Keeping in mind that the areas of the image that are not darkest, but still pretty dark, will need a background they can contrast against. Her hair is light colored, I think light brown if I remember correctly. Let's just start with an easy one and do the pupils. It's already covered in graphite, so it might not work that well. Yeah, I don't even know if there's a difference there. But
that's a logical place to start.
you know, I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but in person, I think I do see the difference already.
All right, let's be careful here.
It's really good. I think I want. There's not really, like, there's something back here in this little triangle, but it's not important enough that I want it obstructing the detail of this vicinity. So by coloring it in pitch black, that'll help with the neckline and the shoulder line and the antler back there and everything. And might as well grab this one, these edges. There we go. I almost forgot until right now that when you're using really intense pencils like these, it's best to go from the top to the bottom so you don't smear with your hand. This lag is annoying, so sorry I keep sliding the thing down. I wonder if when AI takes over the world, for generations and generations, stuff like this is going to end up in a museum or in the trash. Or if there's any difference if it's not humans looking at it. Because what I'm feeling right now is pride in how this is going. It just makes you wonder where all this kind of stuff ends up. When I was in first and second grade, I drew homemade comics. And when I was in 7th grade, I was showing them off at school. And someone offered to buy them for like 15-20 bucks or something. And I can't remember if I took the deal. But what I do know is that I can't find those comics anymore, even though I have a box full of old drawings. And that kind of makes me sad that I might have sold them to some idiot kid who probably doesn't appreciate them as much as me. Or maybe he does, I don't know. They're original copies. I mean, come on, don't be an idiot. I could never be a professional artist. I want to keep my original copies. I draw for myself and not for others, usually. Or if I'm forced to draw for others. I still try to make something for me by the end of it. And that's why I get weird eldritch monsters cuddling a witch like this. I hope this white background is going to be good enough. Shoot. I got myself all depressed now. This is a nice shade for this hat. I like it. Ooh, look at that shading. You missed the start of it, huh? Excuse me. Yeah, looks like I missed my sob story too, which is not a bad thing. I think this is the fun part of the drawing for me, where I finally got past the wishy-washy question mark, what am I doing with these lines phase. And then the shading is easy in comparison and fun. It's like the payoff where you get to see everything come together. A high satisfaction per effort phase. Especially with the right tools. I think this is helping a lot. You have 8 more minutes before you have to go for a while. When will you be back? Should I pause or should I keep going? How about I try something a little different here? I should keep going though. I have only scratched the surface of drawings. I guess that's true. I have plenty more drawings to do. If you don't mind though, I think I want to do one of each character first before I double up each character. Just so I can technically say I drew all my characters, and then you won't have any more rights to complain. And then the fact that I want to do both versions of my characters, the daytime and nighttime, that's just up to me, you know. So I don't think you can force that on me. So I think Camila is gonna have to wait a little bit longer, and also Lulu's regular human form is gonna have to wait a little longer too. Until I get one of each of the others done first. Oh, believe me, I can be quite stubborn and forcing, lol, but I'll be nice for now. See, that's our problem. You're so stubborn and forcing. I'm not saying I'm an immovable rock, but I can be very begrudging. I'd much rather be motivated with a carrot than a stick. And yeah, comparing my attitude over the last few days compared to the motivation I feel right now after your Pharaoh drawings, it's pretty good. But you're so stubborn that you're just as likely to be a hard ass in most situations. This hat is turning out a lot better than I could have expected. I need help thinking of when you see something head on, it has a certain brightness to it. But when you see something at an angle, is it darker or is it lighter? I guess it depends on the ambient lighting. But what we can say is that everything has Fresnel. So if I have a light background, then these parts of the hat should stay light. But the Fresnel on this part of the hat would mostly reflect back onto the hat. So I need to darken this. What am I doing? Oh my god, I'm retarded. There's no way this is gonna work. This is bad news. Bad news. Okay, that worked a lot better than I thought it would. My grave mistake was drawing lines like this instead of like that. I think that would make a big difference in this spot. Time for you to go. Good luck. All right. Come back soon. I'll be waiting on you. And bring Farah. Been a long time since someone used one of these. Look at that charcoal embedded in there. It's gonna have a really nice effect, maybe. Smudge. Smudgy smudge. Now this drawing is going to absolutely pollute anything it touches. It's really dark even for... Okay. I think I have to bring it further in. The problem with smudging is it looks like smudging. There's something not right. It's got those little gaps of lightness, and when you try to fill in these little detailed corners, you just end up smearing the corners. I guess that's why I have the detail eraser to counteract some of the chaos. Yeah, but now this is really dangerous territory because you can't wipe it with tissue or anything. Maybe it's safe to wipe upward. I don't think that would cause too much harm. Too. There we go. That's some proper Fresnel. Look at that. Grab some on this other side too. You know, what's cool about the Fresnel is that it lets you, in a very, very, very subtle way, capture a 3D shape. The eraser tip wasn't what I thought it was there. Like, the amount of Fresnel, the thickness of the Fresnel that I put here makes all the difference in the 3D perception of the shape of the hat sitting on top of the horn. That is a nice looking hat. This is a nice Halloween drawing. I'm a little uncomfortable with how this section is going. Not sure how to explain it yet, though. I think that helped a little bit. Hmm. Well, that's certainly something. Hmm. I think some of these details around that edge and the base of the hat and the brim meet. I'm just kind of getting washed out. But it's for the best in some cases. Not for the best in others, but it's fine. Like here, from a distance, it looks like it's smudged onto this thing. When it's not smudged, it's actually just frayed. But what can you do? What can you do? Alright, I think it's a good enough hat for now. How long have I been streaming? 90 minutes. Oh, I almost forgot this section of the hat. I think I should shade her face next. Actually. Which I'll probably do just with this pencil. But it's been 90 minutes, so I'm kind of getting pooped of this. I want to break. Can't keep going on for more than 2 hours at a time, it seems. Start getting bored and want to do other stuff. She has fairly light colored hair, so that's convenient. I need to be a little bit fancier with these, I think. Alright. Might be something we can do with this. I'm just not sure yet. It is pretty shaded under there. I don't know. Okay. You have me muted, but you're watching again. Okay. Normally when I halfway tune into streams, I'm listening but not watching. So that's an interesting little opposite. I wouldn't know how to get your attention. I guess I could draw a question mark and see if you notice or ask a question. But yeah, it's almost hard for me to imagine paying attention with my eyeballs and to not paying attention with my ears. And the opposite is rather easy. Fuck. We've definitely lost a little bit of detail in the eyes. Or have we? I forgot that the highlight was hidden by the eyelid there. Oh my god. Something I still don't know how I'm gonna do yet is she is supposed to have a darker skin tone. At least it'll help her hair pop a little bit more. Her hair has to be at least a little bit more shaded this deep under the brim than out here. But her hair color is supposed to be lighter than her skin color. So that's gonna be a delicate operation that I don't know if I should do now or procrastinate. Well, that's certainly progress. Oh, just look at the hands. Where are all the fingers? Is this AI generated? Oh my god. Newsflash! Hands are difficult for humans to draw too. I just don't feel like it. Like, where do I even put the thumb? Hooked in? Hooked in between teeth or something? That's aggressive. Or just... I don't know. Here's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's decent. Okay. I want to stop right now. I have to decide if I'm going to pick up with the dress or the antler or the skin. I might resume with the dress because it's not accurate to leave her skin that light. But if I chicken out, it's still better to have incorrect skin color and a not fucked up drawing than try to get the skin color correct and fuck up the drawing. So I'm gonna procrastinate the skin color. Probably do the dress next. Then this guy. Then the skin color. It'll give me a little bit of arm and hand space to experiment with. But I think the hat and horns came out decent. The horns are really not that fancy. Could be more detailed, but I don't care. It's fine. Hair. Also rescued a few areas of the hair where I overshaded it. It didn't need to be that shaded. In fact, while I'm at it, this can lighten up a little bit. All right. And it's been 10 minutes until 2 hours. So I'll call it there.